Hi everyone, this is Steph with Savor brands, and I'm here today with a very special guest, Felix Teiretzbacher from Kaffeelix in Austria. He is a 2022 World Coffee Roasting Champion. Good to see you, Felix, and great to have you here. How have you been doing?
Hello, great to see you too. Yeah, it was quite busy the last year and the last month, especially. Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time, even though you've been so busy. It was so fun to host you in El Salvador back in January for the Pono Collective, and just last April at the US Coffee Expo in Portland. We really enjoyed the live streaming that you did with Mark on the US Coffee Roasting Championship. It was really fun to watch you get on your element and talk about what is happening backstage at the competition. So we learned a lot. Personally, I learned a lot from what you had to share. So yeah, thank you for doing that and for joining Mark as well.
Oh,
But today we wanted to learn about you. We want to learn a little bit about your history, the story behind Cafelix. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your role. How did everything start?
that's a long story. I guess no, not that bad. It all started in 2003. It was the first March of 2003. I really can remember that very clearly because I really jumped into the coffee business by accident. I was just bored in my old job, and a friend of mine told me that his father has a big company for selling machines for bars and restaurants, and also coffee machines. And he asked me if I need a job, just ask his dad. So they hired me for espresso machines. I had no idea what I'm gonna doing there. But they took me on the first March on 2003 down to Italy, to Milan, in the factory of the big brand, and I learned everything about Italian espresso and Italian coffee culture and so on. So I was really hit by the second wave then. So this was my first step into coffee business back then, and it was really exciting. And later on, I had my first dream, like for having my own coffee bar. So I did that in 2007, I guess. It was when I opened the bar with the help from my boss back then. And that was my first step into seeing the other side of of the coffee culture, like having my own bar. And I think in the very beginning, when I opened the bar, I found in a supermarket green beans. So really couldn't believe, because I visited roasteries, big roasteries back then, but I really never touched green beans. So I found a kilo, not the best quality, I remember, and put it somehow, because there were a lot of blacks, so it was obvious choice to sort them out. Put them in a popcorn maker, and the kitchen was smelling good. Coffee was tasting really bad, but I was caught by the idea of having my own roastery. And 3 years later, I opened my roastery. It's about now 11 years now. So yeah, and then I started like roasting Italian style, and then developed, I think 1-2 years later on, I moved into more specialty scene and more lighter roasts, and developed over the years. And now, I started by my own with lots of help from my girlfriend, and now we have about 10 members in the team, so we're quite grown, and it worked out very well.
Oh, that's very like a very unique story how everything started, like the origin. But like now that you go back in time, like it's been more than a decade now, 11 years. And I think I heard that story about the green beans that you bought before. So it's always fun to hear. And but now look at you, like you have your like your roastery, it's well established roastery. you earned the title of the best coffee roaster in the world. So you have great achievements and accomplishments. But looking back in time, what would you say, or what would you consider it has been like your company philosophy since day one, since you opened like your roastery?
It was like I didn't want to do something I or roast something I didn't want to drink by myself. So that was same in the bar back then. I didn't want to sell something I didn't want to use by my own or take to myself. So this was like I roasted just for my own taste. So and luckily people liked it. So that worked out. I was often questioned. So how big are you going to be? What's your goal in the future, and so on? And I always replied that I just want to like be able to buy the coffees I want to drink, and yeah.
Also, talking about like your learning experience, you're saying that you changed your different like growth profiles. What do you think is the single best thing that you have learned since opening your roastery?
Ooh. I'm not sure if we can just count it on one. There's so many people that crossed my way and kind of influenced me somehow. Or I've read a big amount of books and talked to colleagues. I mean, this is probably the best thing. Learning from colleagues, learning from different roasters all over the world. So I was traveling mostly in Europe. Back in the years, so whenever there was a World of Coffee somewhere in Europe, we tried to get there, make a bit of holiday in the country, and then go to the World of Coffee and see what roasters from all over the world are presenting. So we cupped a lot of coffees, and this had a big influence on my own style because I came back with a bag full of coffee bags. And we tried to see why is the coffee so good and what's the difference? Are we buying the wrong coffees or are we roasting different? So we try to develop more our roast style and search for this quality I want to like have for my own and for my clients. So this was maybe the best thing, like connections and learning from and talking to colleagues. Like this is it's really like the connections and what's the right word? Sharing knowledge. That's a bit, yeah. That's maybe the best thing to do.
Well, yeah, I think it channels who you are, like as a person, because you are very like curious. You like to learn a lot, but you also like to share a lot. So, because I remember one story you were talking in El Salvador, where we were doing the thought leadership with the producers here, and you were talking about sharing knowledge with the local community, because you do like a farmers market over the weekend or a market in a local like neighborhood in Austria. And I remember this story about this client that would come up to you. It would taste your coffee and you would describe like the flavor notes, and he would say like, "Nah, I'm not getting it." But he would come back, even though he wouldn't get it at the beginning. But one day he said like, "I totally get it."
Yeah, that was really maybe one of the most touching scenes because it took about I think more than 1 year, and this person he came really every Saturday, I guess, and he talked to me and he bought about more the blends or the espresso with less acidity. So, but he was super curious about the new style coffees I had. So the maybe crazy fermentation styles or the high quality coffees. So he was really always curious and tasted, and he couldn't stand the acidity. He was just not ready. And but he always tried, and really someday he came back and said, "Yeah, I have to tell you, I have it. I have it now. I get it. So give me all you have." So and he's such a nice guy. And, I had that plenty of times that people just needed, or I think I myself was the same. So when I tried first like fruity coffees, I was really like, oh man, what's that? That's just acidity. That's not like Italian coffee. So I had to learn like opening my taste buds for that. So this was kind of development too. But if you are into quality and into flavors, there is no turning back. So it's a one-way direction. So this is kind of what we are trying to share with the people on the farmers market every Saturday. People come ask for coffee, or and some just don't care, just want to have coffee with milk, and it's okay. But really, a lot of people are getting curious about what we are doing, why there are so many different bags, why we have 2 grinders, what's the difference, why filter coffee again. So many people just throw away the filter equipment a few years ago to get fully automatic machines. Now we tell them, why do you do filter coffee? It's very good. So yeah, this is kind of the fun part.
Yeah, but I think it takes, someone who's actively looking to learn something new, and someone who's actively like looking to teach about it. So you combine the best of both worlds, because it's specialty coffee. The community itself is so passionate about, like, sharing knowledge, as you were sharing with roasters or with producers, but looking in the local community to share it with others. What would you say is the best way for you to share this passion of coffee with your local community?
The best way to share is, just let people taste the coffees. Yeah, so do cuppings, because people are always afraid of like having expensive bags there, and not sure of buying a whole bag and not sure if I want to taste it. So the best thing is to really let people taste the coffees. And I mean, there are so many questions people just are afraid to ask. So, and this is maybe we have to be open for. So if somebody says, no, I don't like it, we just have to ask why you don't like it. And so kind of getting step by step to the translation, what people are meaning in I don't like it, because maybe it's new for me, or I'm afraid to ask, is it okay to say it tastes like bubble gum or something like that? So this is be open for critic as well. So I think this is let the people taste the coffees is maybe the best way to get them curious for that.
Well, it's awesome the job that you're doing back there in Austria. So we congratulate you for that. And like I said, it's about sharing with the local community, be open about it, and as you say, open for discussion, and also build this relationship, with the local ones. That leads me, I guess, to my next question about developing relationships. How, when you were in El Salvador, you knew a lot of the producers already that you served coffee from. Another ones you got to meet while you were visiting. But how do you normally develop this relationship with the producers?
Yeah, that was. I mean, it's not easy to travel that far. So meeting producers, of course, you're busy in the roastery every day, so and it takes a lot of money and so on and so on. So, but you can meet as a roaster. Visit like a World of Coffee, for instance, or a bigger exhibition to meet producers, or to meet traders who know the producers. So this is kind of the way I did it. Like first I came to the traders and talked about where's the coffee coming from. So got there the information. Sometimes I was able to join them on their origin trip, or World of Coffee still is maybe the best possibility to meet producers too, because they are there to do cuppings and so on. So this is the only way actually to be around without traveling so far.
all the important people who are in the industry, whether they're providers, producers, roasters, and they get to be in this like amazing shows that happens like every year. So um, it only makes sense for you to make this connection. And we know that right now you're getting very unique coffee from different parts of the world. Is there a specific country, origin country, or if you could be like more specific, nailed down to a farm that you've been wanting to source coffee from, but you haven't just yet?
These kind of this type of farm or coffees, I think this spots up every day. So I think this is what I really like on my job. There is so many to learn about roasting, of course, and brewing and everything, but to experience also like new varieties, new species, new processing types. There are really popping up so many new things. So this is a very good thing about our business, because it's really developing in so many directions. So there are lots of coffees. I have no favorite origin. Even now, if you have so many varieties, like for instance, an SL28, or like from Kenya, planted in El Salvador or planted in Colombia. So it's really getting very colorful in the coffee scene, and I really like that. So and there's so many things to see I haven't seen yet. So yeah, I think every day I have a new idea about, I need this coffee, I need to try that. So yeah, like in Athens, I'm sure I'm gonna join a lot of coffees.
I yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen. And also with those scenes, with the coffee scene, it's always evolving. New processes are being invented every day. Like I think producers in general are being pushed by roasters and the final consumer to get new stuff. Which I think it makes the specialty coffee industry so unique as well. And we do have one final question, which is not related to coffee. But we know that you like and love music so much. And at one point in your life, you wanted to be a piano teacher. So this is more personal and casual. Do you have any like solo artist or musician or music band that you jam while you're roasting?
Yeah. I mean, we had a band in our city, so, but it was just running out of time to do music again. So I'm listening to music, and sometimes while roasting. So I have to rethink, because I heard a lot of music while roasting, but it's changed in the last year. Interesting. Good question. But yeah, I'm still trying to play more piano, to kind of have music in our house, because I grew up with music in the house, and it's very nice. And for our son, it's nice to have like melodies around.
Well, that's your homework for next time. We have to nail down which is the favorite music band or singer.
That's really hard to say.
It's really me too, I guess. I know that I introduced you as Kaffeelix, and you're obviously the owner and founder of the roastery. Do you want to talk about like the transition of what happened? It's just a sneak peek for everyone who's watching.
Actually, we rebranding. So that was an idea over the years now, because it's not only me doing my coffee. We are a team. We are a bigger company now. We making decisions in team-wise. So I think it was time to grow up a bit and rebrand. So this is going to be, we presented in the World of Coffee then. So It was, yeah, quite busy the last weeks to do so, but I think we managed to not forget anything. So yeah, it's fun, and it was really time to change something, to grow up a bit. Yeah. So
Well, on behalf of everyone at Savor, we're super excited for everything that is happening with Kaffeelix. We wish you nothing but success on the upcoming project. And if anyone who's watching is attending World of Coffee Athens, please make sure to stop by and taste amazing coffee from the best coffee roaster in the world, Felix Teiretzbacher. But yeah, thank you so much for being with us today, Felix, and it's always nice to see you.
likewise, thank you so much for the invitation for the interview.